Hello everyone. Today let's unravel the Shakespeare sonnet number 29. It delves into feelings of despair, longing, and the transformative power of love. Each line paints a vivid picture of the poet's emotional journey. Introduction. Sonnet 29, written in iambic pentameter, portrays a speaker who is initially depressed and envious of those who are more fortunate than him. But eventually, the person finds solace in the love of a dear friend. Here, through this poem, Shakespeare navigates the depth of human emotions, exploring the themes of despair and the transformative power of love. Let's begin with the first quatrain. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deep heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate. Let's begin with the line number one. At the beginning, the poet expresses a feeling of disgrace, rejected by both luck and society. It sets the tone of personal struggle and isolation. Here, men's eyes reflects the society and fortune reflects the status of other persons. Line number 2. I alone bewail my outcast state. The poet laments his isolated and rejected state, emphasizing the depth of his despair. He feels like an outcast. Outcast means someone who has been abandoned. He feels like an outcast experiencing profound sadness. And trouble deep heaven with my bootless cries. He cries out to an unresponsive heaven. Unresponsive. Deep heaven symbolizes that means the heaven who is not listening to his prayers. So he's suggesting his prayers seem unheard or unanswered. The term bootless implies futile and without effect. Line number 4. And look upon myself and curse my fate. He reflects his own situation, cursing his destiny. The self condemnation adds a layer of internal conflict and anguish. In all, the poet laments his wretched state, feeling outcast and cursed, longing for the favor and success enjoyed by the others. Let's move to the second quatrain. Wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, deciding this man's art and that man's scope with what I most enjoy, contending less. Let's move to the line number 5. In the line number 5, he desires to be someone with more hope, possibly wealthier in both material and emotional aspects, highlighting a longing for a brighter future. Line number 6, featured like him with friends possessed. He wishes for features and friendships like others. This line underscores a sense of inadequacy, comparing himself unfavorably to those seemingly more fortunate. Line number 7. Desiring this man's art and that man's scope. He covets, that means he wishes for the talents and opportunities of others. The longing for another person's art and scope reveals a deep sense of personal dissatisfaction with what I most enjoy contended list. Despite having what he enjoys, the poet is less content. This paradox emphasizes his emotional struggle and the inability to find joy in his current state. In all, envy consumes him as he covets others' fortunes, but a shift occurs with the realization that the thoughts of a beloved friend bring solace. That we'll just see. The third quatrain. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising, from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. Line number 9. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising. He almost despises himself in these thoughts. The internal conflict intensifies as he grapples with self worth and acceptance. Line number 10. Happily I think on thee and then my state. The focused word here is thee. However, when he thinks of a particular thee, his emotional state changes. The word happily here suggests a sense of chance or fortunate circumstance. Like to the lark at the break of the day arising. Drawing a simile, he likens his emotional upliftment to a lark rising at dawn. Lark is a bird who sings very melodious in who sings in very melodious tone. The imagery symbolizes a renewed sense of hope and joy. In line number 12, from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. The lark sings as it rises from the sullen earth. Again, the sullen earth here represents a gloomy situation. This image conveys a transformation from a gloomy state to a celestial celebration, the heaven's gate. In all, despite material lack, the poet's emotional wealth is restored by the thoughts of the beloved, transforming despair into a sense of fortune. Let's come to the final couplet. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings that then I scorn to change my state with the kings. In line number 13, thinking of the person's sweet love brings wealth. The wealth here is metaphorical, representing emotional riches and happiness. Line number 14, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. As a result, the poet now scorns the idea. That means he doesn't now like the idea of changing his state with the kings. His perspective now shifts, valuing a transformative power of love over external circumstances. In all, the closing lines declare that the beloved's presence, the poet feels like a king, surpassing earthly monarch in the riches of love. This can also be construed in the last couplet as well. Let's come to the themes. Despair and joy we have seen, envy of the others, it was very clearly evidently seen in the sonnet, redemption of love and the self-acceptance. Let's jump to the analysis of the poetic devices. First is repetition. We have seen the repetition of certain sounds. We have also seen the repetition of the alliteration. Basically, more or less we can say they are quite similar but not exactly the same. Then the metaphor, example, deep heaven, to convey the idea that the speaker's prayers go seems to go unheard. And fourth being simile, like to the lark at the break of the day arising. Speaker here compares improved emotional state to the rising of a lark. Now we come to the summary and the conclusion. So basically, in the sonnet number 29, Shakespeare explores the transformative power of love, basically in and especially in the moments of despair. Through the vivid language, he crafts a testament to love's ability to transform the adversity into transcendent, joyful experience, resonating with the universal human condition. There you have it. This was sonnet number 29 explained by me, Amarnath Tiwari from The Lifelong Student. Signing off from The Lifelong Student. See you next time. Till then, keep learning. Goodbye.